there, North Texas, and welcome to Jim Austin TV. So glad you could join us. I'm Cynthia Austin. On today's program, we have from K104 Morning Time, Miss Dee Dee McGuire, also Stellar Award winner, Gospel Music Announcer of the Year, Mr. Cedric Bailey. Call your family and friends and make sure you tell them the show is on the air, and we'll be back right after this.
Introducing your starting game lineup, the Dallas Mavericks and the Trinity Railway Express. Take the clear lane to the basket with a ride to the AAC on the tee and the Trinity Railway Express. TransportYourself.com.
Stellar Award-winning Gospel Announcer of the Year, Mr. Cedric Bailey, is on set today. Hi, Cedric.
Hey, Cynthia. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for coming to be on the show.
Thanks for the invite.
So, congratulations on winning the Stellar.
It's an honor, and I give God all the praise and glory.
Amen, amen. So what was that moment like when they called your name out, and how did you feel at that moment?
Well, you know, you kind of had a feeling that I had a feeling I was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, sometimes you have to be able to just wait on the Lord.
Right.
And I was up against some great people because I'm going up against like Liz Black, who's at WLIB in New York City, Carmina Barnett, KHPN here in the Dallas area. And then Rick Joyner, who's been around, he's with Sheridan Delight, he's out of Atlanta. So, you know, being up against tough people like that, it's definitely an honor because we all could have won the award.
Right.
But I just felt like it was my time of my season, but I didn't say nothing. I just trusted God.
So did you have that surprise look on camera when they, Cedric Bailey from Dallas, Texas, what you do?
Well, you know, it was amazing because the story is because I'm a national syndicated radio announcer.
Exactly.
And the people in Virginia Beach in North Carolina are the ones who represented me.
Okay.
And I was just, you know, I just was very excited. As a matter of fact, after I won the award, I had a little moment, and I just was just thanking God and thanking my mom for, you know, giving me that vision and encouragement, and thanking my mentor who told me that I was going to be successful.
What made you get into radio?
Well, one day I was 12. I went to DeKalb, Texas. I spent the time with my aunt and uncle who really basically taught me about life in general down in East Texas. And we went to this, you know, in the country in the summertime, and we had a family reunion, and I walked in the room and I saw a picture of Iola Johnson.
Okay.
And she was the main anchor for WFAA in Dallas. And I looked at her story and I read it and I said, well, I want to be a TV reporter. And that's what I decided right there.
Okay. What is it about radio that you enjoy?
Radio is different because I, like you, started off in a country station.
That's right. We have that country music background.
And during that time period, we was playing music from like Ronnie Millsap and the Dolly Partons. And
oh, you and I are the same age. We're from the same generation. We were playing the same music at the same time.
And everything. And in order to be in the career, you know, I wanted to be an R&B DJ, but, you know, making it to Dallas, and you got to understand radio R&B, and it just, you know, they only played it at a certain time because mainly it was on AM stations. And so they would go off at dark. And kind of like when our TV would go off at, believe it or not,
12 o'clock, the flag goes up and that's it.
Yeah, and it changed in like 1972 or 73. But being in radio, it was just an experience that I got a chance that taking that country job taught me the basics of how to sit in the studio, how to turn those big knobs up, how to cue up records, how to fire carts, and be in a room.
You remember that too?
Yeah.
Carts, oh, way back there.
Yeah. And being in a room, and you got to remember when you flip on this switch and this light goes on, that you're talking to hundreds of thousands of people.
Yes.
And the deal is, they can't talk to you. The only way they can talk to you is if they pick up that phone and I see this little flashing light, and then I know there's a caller. And I say, hello, thanks. I say, hello, thanks for calling KADA. Can I help you? You know, something like that.
Right.
And, you know, they tell me what they want to hear. And one day I played this song, and the guy said, "Man, you sure sound like a black guy playing country music." I said, "Well, yeah, we think the same." And it was great. But, you know, doing it, I knew I couldn't do it forever, and I realized that I was going to be always at the bottom. The money wasn't there. And one year they called me in on Christmas time, and I worked at night shift from 6 p.m. till 12 a.m. and came back the next day and worked from 12 noon to 6 p.m. and I played nothing but Christmas music. And I said, "Is this what I really want to do?" So I got up and got out of there, and I went to Texas. I got a real job, you know.
That's a long time to be on the air, 6 to midnight.
Those were 6-hour shifts.
Right.
Wasn't none of this 4-hour stuff, you know. And it was something else. You know?
See, the longest shift I had was a 5-hour, and that was kind of after a while. You know, going back to, like you say, when you're on a country station and the listeners call in and said to you, "You sound like a black guy playing country music." My thing was when I would go out on remotes. Events. Yes.
They'd be shocked to see you.
Yes, I was working at the #1 country station in America, and so you know we were 100,000 watts. You know that's big time.
Oh yes.
Oh, Bill.
We got the power to rock the country.
Hello, I was Cynthia on the radio, and I would go out to events, and it would be so funny because people would walk up to me and they would say, "Oh, I thought you were."
Yeah, go on and say it. Go on and say it.
You know what I'd say to them? "I know you thought I was taller."
Yeah.
I'd let them off the hook, you know. But wow, you took me back in time.
You
like
know what I tell them?
What
Just like what you did, Sid. I didn't mean to cut you off, but
That's okay.
I would tell them the Charlie Pride story.
Yes.
I say, RCA had Charlie Pride never put his picture on the cover. But they listened to the music, and all of a sudden, he'd get to Nashville, and he'd walk out, and they look up, and they pull a curtain, and find out he's a black man from Mississippi. And he'd tell his little story, and they would just say, "Okay, y'all ready to hear the song?" He'd do it. They clap at the beginning, and then that's one thing about country artists. They clap at the beginning, and they clap at the end. They always tell a story or so. But they loved him. Yes. And we had to have our niche for people to love us.
Yes. Amen. Amen. It's such a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for coming on the show, and congratulations on bringing that award home.
No problem.
Well, very well deserved. Very well deserved. And by the way, how can our viewers find you on the radio?
Well, what happened is now we've started a sports network. You can go to my national show. It's a gospel show. It's at musicalsoulfood.com. I'm on every day from 2 p.m. till that's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But also we have a sports network, and it's called the Big Game Christian Sports Network. So www.bgcsports.net.
Thank you. Mr. Cedric Bailey, Stellar Gospel Announcer of the Year, right here on Jim Austin TV. Back in a moment.
Tired of meeting in noisy coffee shops and restaurants to conduct business? If you need office space but don't want to pay high monthly rental costs or take on an expensive long-term lease, Austin Plaza has the solution. Rent a virtual office space for as little as $200 a month, no contract required. Austin Plaza virtual offices provide access to boardrooms for large meetings and seminars, offices for business meetings, virtual receptionist services, Wi-Fi, and a physical mailing address. Conveniently located off I-30 and Beach Street at 2401 Scott Avenue in Fort Worth, Austin Plaza is just 30 minutes from downtown Dallas. Call 817-923-9305 to get your virtual office space today. Austin Plaza, the smart choice for doing business in DFW.
Roller World Northeast is the place for safe family fun for everyone. Birthday parties, arcade, pool, teen club, food, drinks, and more. Enjoy a great night of skating with one of the hottest DJs in the Metroplex at Roller World Northeast, located at 5817 Denton Highway in Haltom City. And don't miss Cheap Skate on Wednesdays and Teen Night on Fridays. Book your party or special event at Roller World Northeast. Call 817-485-8222.
We love Roller World!
when I would tell people that our next guest is coming on the show, Dee Dee, it was such a response. And, first of all, Dee Dee McGuire, K104 Morning Team. Hello. Welcome, my sister friend. Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so lovely.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're just so pretty. It's funny. I was talking to some guys in the office, and I noticed, you're so beautiful. And when men walk in the room, they kind of lose it. The guys who were in here earlier, I noticed they were just looking at you. They were just smitten. It's like, okay, so that's Dee Dee.
That's what this is what I look like. You know what I mean? A lot of people always say that. Like, what does she look like? And
I don't know. I think sometimes there's a misconception. People think because you're a woman and you're in radio, well, why is the reason why she's not on TV? But that's not the case. You're just talented. You're just the whole thing.
No, I used to want to do TV. I did. I really wanted to do TV, but what somebody told me was my personality, I wasn't going to be good to do news, that I would end up laughing.
No, you have too much energy.
Yeah, they said I would end up laughing on air, and they were like, you know what? You need to stick to being behind the mic on the radio. That way you can be you and laugh and joke and be your crazy self.
Well, now we're living in a day and age on television where you can just be you.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see any reason why you wouldn't have a TV show. You're going to have one day. We're just going to speak it into.
Okay, into existence.
Into existence.
From your lips to God's ears.
Exactly. Dee Dee, it's so much to say with you, and I know we're not going to have enough time, but one of the things, where do I want to go? Oh, back to the guys.
Okay.
In the office the other day, it was so funny. They were like, who are you talking to this weekend? I said, Dee Dee McGuire from K104, and then I said some more names, and then they were like, okay, but Dee Dee, what does Dee Dee look like? I said, she's gorgeous. She looks good. And they were like, okay. You mind if we come up there and watch your film?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do.
And I'm like, y'all trying to find out what the woman looks like, but do you realize I didn't know that there was a woman holding down a morning show.
Really? Yeah.
I didn't know that until I.
Well, it's rare. I'm going to tell you something right now. It is definitely rare. I've been doing radio for, oh my gosh, over 15 years or more, and it's very seldom do you see a woman being the main lead. We're normally the co-host, and we may do the midday slot, but for the most part, we never get a chance to be the lead.
Right.
So when K104 actually did this for me, is the way I say, I'm like, oh my gosh, it was such an honor. Our boss, Michael Erickson, and Geo Cook, they were like, this is it. This is the girl to do it. And I'm like, you guys really believe in me like that? And so I was a little nervous at first, but now I just go in and do it.
So were you with K104 before you started doing the morning show? Or?
Yeah, well, it's funny because, I've had a pretty long career in radio. I've been really blessed, but I do, for years, I was doing a syndicated morning show. For 10 years, we were syndicated in New York, in Chicago, in Houston, and about 40, 50 cities. And so I did that for 10 years, and I thought, I am so tired of getting up in the morning, at 3:45 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm done. So our show ended up going to the afternoons. It's called the Doug Banks Show.
Okay.
And so we ended up going 2 to 6 in the afternoon. I was like, yes, it was like a vacation, right? I did it for a year and a half, and I got a call from the producer at K104, White Gary. Everybody knows White Gary. And so he calls me and he goes, listen, can you come in and fill in for somebody? And I said, sure, okay. So I got up and I did it. And that night he called me. He said, they're going to offer you a job. And I said, listen, I already have a job. I'm doing the afternoon 2 to 6, still syndicated around the country.
Yeah.
I don't want to get up in the morning anymore. And he's like, no, Hyman Childs and the operations manager, they're going to call you and they're going to give you. So they offered me the job. And I was like, okay.
How cool is that?
And so I went in, and actually what I was doing was just kind of adding flavor to the morning show, just kind of talking and adding flavor. And then there were some changes, and they were looking and thinking they were going to get another host. And then that's when Geo Cook and Michael Erickson said, give it to Dee Dee. She's got the experience. She's got the talent. Give it to her.
What was the response like in the beginning when you went on mornings as a woman? How were you received?
I think because of the way I first came into K104, where I was just kind of chiming in. I call it platinum chiming. I was just chiming in or whatever. So like they would, I chimed a little bit, and then they put me in the entertainment position. So the audience got a chance to kind of grow with me and know me a little bit more. So as I was doing those positions, it wasn't until maybe 3 years ago that I took over as the lead. And then last year they just went on and renamed it Dee in the Morning.
That's beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. So your morning team, do you handpick them, or you kind of get an idea of?
Yeah, well, actually, Jade has been at K104 for years. I mean, I think she may have been there maybe 10 years or more. And so she was already a part of the show, and she and I had such good chemistry. Like, everybody couldn't believe how great our chemistry was. So Jade and I, we're a staple. Like, we're always going to be together. And then Michael Shawn is the new guy who's on the show. He's a comedian, and he sent in a tape, and we listened, and I was like, I like this guy. We interviewed him, and I totally liked him, and they brought him in, which was great.
So you are doing 2 shows, been doing them for a while. How do you keep going? When do you have Dee downtime?
Only on the weekends.
Okay.
The weekends are mine, but yeah, coming up in May, it's going to be 5 years that I've been doing early morning 6 to 10 on K104 and doing 2 to 6 in the afternoon. I always say I'm doing what Tom Joyner did way back in the day, the Fly Jock. Tom used to do mornings in Dallas and then fly to Chicago. Well, that's what I'm doing. I do mornings in Dallas and I'm on in the afternoon in Chicago 2 to 6. So it's fun. Like I said, it's been 5 years. People always ask me, when am I going to stop doing it? I enjoy radio. I don't know if I'll ever stop, but my downtime is the weekends.
You're the hardest working woman in radio, literally. And when I read your bio, I couldn't believe that you were doing 2 shows, because all I know, I've been listening to Dee in the morning. And my daughter, by the way, I have to talk about that in the next segment, but my daughter, it was so funny when I told her, I said, I'm going to be interviewing Dee McGuire. We were listening to you on the radio in the morning. I said, I'm going to be interviewing Dee. She said, for real, Mom? Are you serious? Like, wow. I became cool mom.
I love it. A cool mama.
Cool mom, yep. I turned that J. Cole up and said, Mama got this. Dee McGuire with K104. We'll be back right after this.
Hey, everybody. It's Dee from Dee in the Morning, and you're watching Jim Austin TV.
CSI Roofing and Renovations provides quality roof construction and repairs, as well as general contracting. Our goals are craftsmanship, attention to detail, and commitment to our customers. In addition to our expert roofing services, CSI also offers quality renovations, attic and skylight installation, gutter repair, as well as home remodeling and repair. Found with the guiding principles of absolute quality and a continuous drive to exceed our clients' expectations, we look forward to helping you turn your dreams into a reality. To learn more about our roofing and restoration services and to arrange a no-obligation consultation, please call us today at 817-983-6609 or visit our website for a more detailed look at all of our services at www.csiroofers.com.
Dee, when you go, next time you're on the air, will you do me a great big favor?
Okay.
Tell the audience that Nicole Simmons, director of Jim Austin TV, gives me a hard time. Please tell them what a meanie weenie she is. Thank you.
I sure will.
You, didn't I? And she better not edit this or I'll go straight to Mr. Austin. We're having a feud on camera. You're in the middle of this storm.
I love it. 1121 Media, she says, okay?
So, Dee, wow, it's so much to talk about with you. Married? You're married?
Yes, I am married.
Okay. So, your husband and all this radio, and I know you make appearances. You have so much going on. How do you do it all?
Well, you know what? I got a great husband. I keep saying this. I was just interviewed in the E-Light News paper, and she was saying the same thing to me. Lori Blair says, you know, tell me about your husband. And I was like, you know, he's really a great guy. He is who I've waited for, honestly. I mean, I dated a lot.
Beautiful. I mean, who you waited for, beautiful, not
yeah,
to date.
Look, I dated a lot. But he came around, and it was just unbelievable. It felt magical that night when we met. I always say that. And
how did y'all meet?
Don't judge me, everybody.
Okay, never mind.
At a club.
Okay.
We met at a club. And no, but I was leaving the club after only 20 minutes of being there. I was bored, and I was like, I got a book at home, and I'm going to go home and read my book because it's going to be much better. And so I go, and I'm waiting outside because I had valet that night, and my car is sitting directly in front of me. And all of a sudden, here he comes up behind me, and he says, leaving so soon. I'm like, you know, like, what does this guy want? And somehow we just started talking. I turn around, and I see this man with this great smile.
Wow.
And he lived in Iowa at the time, and so we talked on the phone for like, I want to say 3 months before we even saw each other again. Wow. We just talked on the phone, and I didn't want to date him because he was younger than me.
Oh, really? Cougar in the house. Well, you know, I know nothing of your age or that kind of thing, but he probably, you know, you probably just look his age.
Yeah,
really.
well, I thought he looked my age, and he thought I looked his, so we both kind of met in the middle. We both thought each other. He thought I was younger, and I thought he was older. But it turns out to be great. He's really, really wonderful, supportive,
Beautiful.
and yeah, I hope and pray that we stay together forever. If not, I got my eye on somebody else. No, I'm joking. I already got my next one.
It's just jokes. It's just jokes, right?
It's a joke.
Mr. DD's husband is just jokes.
Yeah.
Now, okay, Dee, family. Where are you from? Tell me. You have siblings and.
What's a trip for a lot of people, and they find it so amazing, is that I am the youngest of 5, and I have. There were 4 of us in radio. My mother had 5 kids.
Get out of here, 4 of y'all in radio. Okay.
One brother is an operations manager, and he runs 3 radio stations. Wow. Another brother runs and is on the air, and he's a program director of a radio station. Another sister does mornings on a radio station in Connecticut.
Wow. So y'all are just all
and then we
over.
just have another sister who, she's just my sister who doesn't want to do radio.
What kind of music do you listen to off the air?
K104.
Okay.
And that is no joke. I am a huge fan of everything we play.
And you worked with Wendy Williams, right?
I did. I worked with Wendy. You know, the syndicated show that I do, I was doing in the morning from 6 to 10, the Doug Banks Show. We were on in New York on a radio station called WBLS. So we did mornings, and Wendy did afternoons 2 to 6.
WBLS. Do you ever heard of the Snowman, Jim Snowden?
I do. I know the name.
Back in the day, he was big on WBLS.
Yeah, I just know the name. You know,
Okay,
through the years,
got it.
just because I love radio and I know my craft and know people and stations. But so she worked there, and it's amazing to watch her success. I'm so proud of her. I really, really am proud of her. It's like, wow. I remember many times, and many people have they used to have a misconception of who she was as a person, because what you hear on the radio is us having fun and the extended version of our personalities.
Yes.
Well, maybe not mine, but it is an extended version. And I remember one time she got off from work, and she's waiting in a car, and there was a big party that was going on, like this industry party for a celebrity. And I go, "Are you going tonight?" She goes, "No, I'm going home to be with my son, and I'm going home to put my feet up and watch TV." And she says, "I don't go. I send interns out or something." She said, and I just thought that was real interesting because she's a very well-educated woman, comes from a great family, and so people had this misconception of her, and that's why I'm like, I'm so happy and proud of her.
I'm all over the place with you. Now, what was Dee like growing up? Were you an energetic child? What did you enjoy doing?
Well, yeah, because I was, being the youngest of 5, you're wanting to be heard.
You know what? I used to go sneak in my dad's truck when they had CB radios, and I get on the CD and say, a breaker, and I'd be talking to truckers as they drove by the country.
So you wanted to do something like this.
I knew I wanted to be in radio.
They always say that as a kid, there is a glimpse of what you're going to be when you grow up.
Yes.
There was a glimpse. And so for me, ours was, we used to love to act like we were actors, all of us. We tried to sing and dance, and we got into talent shows.
Y'all
I
did
used to do that.
shows.
I did talent shows. And I used to say I wanted to be a singer. And I was going to, except for Beyonce took my career.
Yeah.
She took who I was supposed to be in the world. So
what she did was she watched you. She had spies watching you, and they went in, they got your information, and did you.
Yeah.
I'm
so
with you.
so Beyonce
Haters.
took my career and my life. So I was like, well, I'll go on and do this other thing on the radio. But no, I did. I wanted to be a singer and everything else. But I also used to play with a tape recorder and like tape myself going back and forth like I was a
You did
news
too?
anchor.
No,
I used to read out of the news too. Like the paper, I would act like I'm reading the news.
You did too? See, I didn't play with dolls. I did the recorder and just run. Wasn't that fun? You can do it all day.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
You did that.
I did that. I used to act like I was a news reporter. I would read in school, right? Like, you know how you'd have a class and they would say, read out loud. And they say, Dee Dee, read out loud. And I would try to read it like I was doing the news.
You did.
To
What
impress
about your
everybody in the class.
What about your Easter speech?
No, I didn't never had an Easter speech.
Oh man, I'd go up to the mic and put on my radio voice and give the Easter speech.
Wow. Did you give an Easter speech?
Yeah, but you did the newspaper thing. That is too funny.
Yeah, and I was in speech and drama as a kid too. Like in high school and middle school, I did speech and drama.
No, we're not gonna. We're just gonna run this show all. We're having too much fun here. Now, did you? Okay, I'll stop in a minute. Did you back to the newspaper? I was getting on Nicole. I forgot. I'm sorry, Dee Dee. I forgot what I was.
What does that mean? So she has to edit or something?
I don't know what she's gonna do. But anyway, I wanted to ask you about the. It was something to do with the newspapers and recorders and all of that. But anyway,
how I practiced like that.
Yes.
And stuff. It really was. I mean, like there was that glimpse of what I was gonna do as I got older. Isn't it? I mean, like really, they always say that.
Yes.
So.
Well, we are good to what?
What happened?
Oh, okay. You know what that means?
What?
We just had a good time and we went all over time. And
Well,
all of that good
okay.
stuff. But anyway, we're gonna have to do this again.
Okay, when we do it again, I want to interview you.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you guys something really quickly. I am not the one who likes to really, really talk about me. It really makes me uncomfortable. I know it's weird. But yeah, but I want you to come on our show on Dee Dee in the Morning. And
I'd
I
love
want to talk
to.
to you about what you're doing and everything else, okay?
Well, you're my radio shero. It's
thank
so
you.
nice to know
That's
you.
so beautiful.
So nice. And keep up your shero. Dee Dee McGuire, K104 Mornings. Check it out. Jim Austin TV. We'll be back in a moment.
I'm Jim Austin, the CEO of Jim Austin Online. We're a social network media website that has a newsletter that goes out to 20,000 folks. We also do a network mixer once a month at a phenomenal place. So please come out and network with us and bring business cards. And I promise you that you'll meet someone new, that you'll be able to do maybe a business deal or create a new friendship. Jim Austin Online, going places and people to meet.
For a clear lane to the basket and a sure shot at netting all the exhilarating Mavs action. Make sure your game lineup always includes the team and the Trinity Railway Express. TransportYourself.com.
That's all the time we have for this program. Thank you so much, North Texas, for watching. And what's wrong, Dee Dee?
Oh, because I'm laughing because I like the way you put your hand on my shoulder because she's been talking about how tall I am.
Like, down, Dee Dee, come on down here. Okay. No, I love your height, but it's been you are so fun. You're so fun. Dee Dee, don't do, you're killing me, Dee Dee. Okay. Come on. Okay. Thank you for watching North Texas. Dee Dee McGuire from K104 and I have had a nice time. Now,
there you go. I had a great time, Cynthia. Thank you for having me. Make sure you guys listen to K104's Dee Dee in the Morning, and I'll keep a job for a while.
And with great... Okay, y'all listening, with great guests like this, I'll keep a job for a while.
There you go.
So we're going to do this, right, Dee Dee? Dee Dee in the Morning, K104. Jim Austin TV. We're on the internet, jimaustinonline.com, and we invite you to be a part of what we are doing. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, all of it, you name it, we're out there. And don't forget to stop by Jim Austin Online and see where we're going to be with our monthly mixer. Invite you all to come out and join us. See, I'm not so short. Thank you, Dee Dee, for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you, North Texas, for watching. We'll see you next time. God bless you. Bye-bye.